recording. Let's start audio recording.
Wank, wank.
Okay, we got it. It begins.
Cool.
3, 2, 1.
I had a really close call today, and it all started when I was so anxious to do something that I didn't stop to think of the danger and wouldn't listen to anyone who tried to warn me.
Well, we parents may not always be right, but we try.
You hormonal vulgarian, that woman deserves your respect.
The Morning Stream. What could a young cop like you want with an old fossil like me?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TMS. It's the morning stream for June 20th, 2024. I'm Scott Johnson. I say 2024. Didn't mean to.
But at least you got the 4 right.
I got the 4. Don't know why I said funny 24. But anyway.
2024.
Well, it's a comedy showcase, and we're here to make you laugh.
Sure.
All right, everybody. That's the category we're in. If you go look us up on iTunes or wherever.
Comedy. Right there. That's where we get our trophies for, is for comedy.
That's right. we are the winningest podcast until Todd said get out of here. You know, we were
That's
good.
Right, exactly. This show is so legacy.
Do they still
introduce me, Scott? You got distracted by the date.
Tell
sorry.
People
else they're listening
yeah, it's Brian Ibbett, everybody. He's right there.
Hey, there you hi.
I don't even think I said my name. I'm forgetting everybody today. So is Todd still doing the podcast awards? Is that a thing? Can we get those?
I think so.
Boy, they fell off my radar with that.
They really did. Yeah. Again, you know, every time nomination voting opens July 1st. So there you go. Like in a week, you can nominate, but not our show.
Wow. Yeah.
But it is funny that I still have a category named after me, and yet I don't know if this is still going on. But
yep, there you are with let's see. Yeah, the Coverville
Podsafe music category.
Podsafe.
Podsafe.
Oh, there's an old term I've not heard in a long time.
Yeah.
Comedy category. Currently, your winners last year included Kevin Hart's Gold Mines. You know, it's
sure
small.
He showed up to accept that.
Oh yeah, small little indie effort there. Not a big deal.
Right.
A bunch of other stuff I don't know, but they won't let us in anymore. We're done. We're out.
No, we're legacy, and it's a bummer we didn't get the morning stream comedy category, right? Like all these other ones that have a sponsored category. It's too bad we couldn't get the TMS comedy category, but whatever. It's fine.
Here's some true crime for you. 48 Hours. Betrayal Season 2. Fresh Hell Podcast. Hide and Seek. Murder She Told. And Small Town Dicks.
No.
Yeah, I like that.
They put the small in the right place for that show.
That's right. Well, good luck to them.
Small Town Dicks.
Yeah. So I guess since we're no longer allowed in there, I guess I don't care. I don't care about it.
Yeah. No. I don't care.
I don't care. Guys, we have a voicemail on the Hornets thing. We're going to put the Hornets thing to rest, okay? About who's going to get rid of what nests and how best to do it. Should you squirt it or rake it or blah, blah, blah?
Be friends with these instead of destroying them.
That's right. Let's see if our Hornets should be our friends with this voicemail.
Hey, Scott, Ryan, this is Chris from Philadelphia calling regarding episode 2658. Regarding your Hornets, Wasps, Yellow Jackets, you guys are killing me, man. All right, Wasps very rarely sting. Get up there with a broom and you just knock the nest down, it's fine. If you want to go all out, instead of using a spray, which only kills what it touches, once the spray dries, there's nothing left behind, so there's no residual effect from the chemical. If you really want to do the right way, you go to Home Depot, you go to your Walmart, you get this stuff called 7 Dust. You dust that, boom, you're done.
It's a band, isn't it?
They're not going to sting you. Bye.
Yeah, 7 Dust. They're opening for Shabuzi later this year.
Right, they're opening for Disturbed or something. There's definitely a metal band called 7 Dust. I'm pretty sure of it.
Something about it sounds familiar, but yeah.
Hornets totally sting. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Yeah, they sting. I've been stung. The only times I've ever been stung in my life were hornets.
Yeah.
So that's like saying Water doesn't get you wet. Well, every time I step in water, I'm wet. I don't understand. Weird.
Right, exactly.
I think what he's meaning, what he's saying is they're not automatically aggressive unless you go in there and do something rude. Well, yeah.
The broom will definitely show be a sign of aggression. Yeah.
That's a rude thing to do to the home of those hornets. They are going to react. I promise you, Chris.
For sure. Boy, I bet you didn't think when you brought this whole thing up that you'd be opening up a real... Oh, wait, never mind.
A can of wait.
No, I was going to say a hornet's nest.
Oh, I see. I get it. I was thinking can of whoop ass for some reason. That's
open up a can of whoop ass. No.
You are correct. Seven Dust is an American rock band from Atlanta, Georgia, formed in 1994 by bassist Vince Hornsby. No relation to Bruce Hornsby of the saxophonist type. I never heard these guys.
Pianist, Bruce Hornsby.
Oh, that's right. Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Exactly. That's just the way it is, Scott. Yeah. Some things never change.
They never change. Well, anyway, I guess all I'm saying about this Hornets deal, the rake worked. They're done. They abandoned their nest. We threw the nest away. I ordered, like Brian suggested, those fake...
those little hanging paper lantern things. Yeah.
Ordered a couple of those.
Well, let me know how those go, because somebody recommended to us. It wasn't me recommending them. Somebody suggested
I thought it was you.
Okay. No,
Must have been while we were here.
My recommendation is dusk spray. Spray like the Dickens. And guess what? If it only kills what it touches, well, let that spray touch everything.
Yeah, let it touch everything.
Sop that nest with that liquid.
We got a thing on the patio planned for this weekend. A whole bunch of people are going to be here for it, and we just wanted to be hornet free.
Yeah.
And we are currently hornet free. I don't think we're going to have any problem. Hopefully those nest things get here before that actually happens, so we can sway any wannabe hornet nest makers. F the hornets. All right? Bottom line, F hornets. All right, moving on.
Make sure to spray and neuter your wasps.
Indeed. We got a Windows Spaces email from Jeff Sire. He has an interesting to say about that spacing between the windows. Says, hey, Scott and Brian, this is regarding the talk about interfenestration. I believe is how we determined it was meant to be said.
Interfenestration.
Interfenestration. I believe the root for this is fenetry, which is a French... Fenestrer, which is French for window. The word defenestrate has always fascinated me. It means to be murdered by being pushed out a window. So if you're going to get pushed out a window, you'd be murdered that way. That's defenestrate or whatever. I just think it's amazing that at one point so many people were being offed by being shoved out windows that they needed a word for it. Signed
right,
Jeff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a quaint time, right? Oh, another person was defenestrated today.
Yeah, you don't see that as much anymore. Not a lot of people.
Glad we don't have gun problem now, because boy, we'd have to talk about shootings. But one person was killed today, pushed out of a window. I'm sorry, defenestrated.
I guess what's his name? Putin still does this. He pushes people out of windows, right? That's still a thing.
Probably. Yeah.
He'll either get them with poison or he'll fenestrate them.
Finestra. Yeah. Right. By the way, people we're getting pronunciations in the chat room. Finestra. Which sounds like a laundry detergent.
Yeah. Or
ever since I started using Finestra, my clothes have never smelt better.
Yeah. It sounds like medication or something.
Yeah.
Is that
Ask your doctor if Finestra is right for you?
So Finestra, so it is. So the full thing is interfenestration.
Interfenestration. Yeah, I don't. The root word, the French word, you pronounce with the middle syllable accented, but interfenestration. I think for that you would, and defenestration you would accent the fen syllable.
All I know is every time anyone sees space between windows, they'll remember us. They'll think about
they will. Yeah, exactly. Or do we kill? We haven't killed anybody with this one, right? By talking about it too much.
I don't think so. Hopefully not. Hopefully no one's getting pushed out of nothing today. That'd be bad. It's just a thing you don't hear a lot about. Like when you hear about the Great Depression, it was always these stories about people jumping out of windows because they lose everything and jump out a window. That was like a stereotype that I always heard growing up about the Depression. People jumped out of windows when Wall Street crashed. These days, you have like a banking run or freaking 2008 housing crisis or whatever. I don't hear about people jumping out of no windows. What happened? Do you guys get all chicken? The financials?
I'm sure they found a better way to do it, because that is a just the thought of doing that, it's like, okay, for that entire time that I'm out the window and going down towards the ground, I am alert, I am awake, and I'm freaking out. It feels like a horrible way to go. In the 1920s, Black Friday, great. Or Black Monday,
isn't it named based on what was that called?
Was it Black Monday? Why does Black Friday? I know Black Friday is the shopping thing, but the crash was Black Monday, right?
Black Monday is the one in '87. It says here. So we had that. We had that 1.7 trillion loss that year, and that was one of those.
And Jemadeko, exactly. I'm thinking of Steely Dan, 100%. When Black Friday comes, Black Tuesday, was that the 1920s stock market crash when everybody started jumping out of windows?
There it is. Wall Street crash, 1929.
1929. Yeah.
Major American stock crash. Some called it Black Tuesday.
Thank you, Tuesday. Yeah.
All right. I didn't know it was a Tuesday. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've learned something here. Well, all right then. Let's next time you're in a bread line, remember those guys in the 20s and don't jump out any buildings, especially islands.
Don't land on them, please.
That's right.
Or if you do like they do in the movies and either land on an awning or square in the middle of the roof of a car.
Why not?
That's the only place you really land in the movies, when you jump out a window.
Yeah, awnings will slow your fall, is what I've learned from movies.
Yep. Exactly.
You have to tear through like what, 4 of them to survive, or
four
whatever
of them
it is?
to slow down, and then you land in the through the roof of your car, being driven by your valet, and he says, "No time for love, Dr. Jones," and drives you to the airport.
That's right. You got a little 8-year-old kid driving. It's perfect.
That's right.
That's what you want.
That's what you want.
Got another theory on your dream lady.
Sure.
I don't know why this one strikes me as no way, but whatever. This is an anonymous texter. It says, for Ibbott's mystery lady, have we considered Catherine Hahn, the actress Catherine Hahn?
It was not Agatha all along that I was trying to think of, but yeah, I know Catherine Hahn. Well, personally, I don't, but she's one of those actresses that I recognize instantly. However, she ticks so many of the boxes. She's around the right age. Yeah. She's brunette, got that kind of nasal thing, and has in this role that I'm imagining this kind of oblivious sarcasm that is playing off of the main character in the TV show that I'm thinking of. So yeah, it would have been, believe me, September, it would have been hilarious if that were the case, right? And it is not somebody, again, it is not a name you recognize. Catherine Hahn's name you recognize. You hear the name, you think, oh, Agatha, or you think, that sitcom that she did, not sitcom, streaming series that she did. I can't remember what it was a couple of years ago, but no, it is, basically, if you're proposing to me a name that the average person would say, I know who that is, that's probably not her.
Did you ever see that thing she was in with Ruffalo on HBO? What was that called? Loved that. It was very, very dark, though. It wasn't like a comedy at all.
Yeah, where I think I know what you're talking about.
Let me find it real quick.
I Know This Much Is True.
That's it. Wow, what a powerful series that was. It was
one
so
of us
good.
recommended it to the other, and I can't remember who it was. Yeah, it was the two, right, because Ruffalo played twin brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that if you guys have never seen it. It's very good.
Right. Nope, that's not Amy Brenneman either.
I think her name's on the big list, isn't it?
I think so, too. Let's see here. The list right now is up to 113 names. Oh, somebody did finally put Pamela Adlon on here. Nope. Can cross that one off.
Lisa Edelstein. Who's that? I don't know who Lisa Edelstein is.
Lisa Edelstein, can't think of what her famous thing is. Let's pull her up. By her photos.
I know her.
She's on here twice. Somebody put her on as Lisa Edelstein, and then again as Lisa Edelstein.
Yeah.
Just in case.
She was on House. She did, let's see.
Yeah. She's another one who ticks off a lot of the boxes. Boy, those boxes are ticked.
Yeah.
She ticks a lot of the boxes for who I'm thinking of.
Kaminsky Method, The Good Doctor. She's been in lots of stuff. Scandal, House of
White,
Lies.
brunette, 40s to 50s. In this role, she had long, straight brown hair, dark hair. But obviously, that doesn't mean that she does everywhere else. So, yeah, actually, the Google Doc actually lists the whole qualification: brunette actress, longer, darker brown hair, slightly nasal voice, a Wendi Malik vibe, similar age, facial features, but with darker, more striking eyes. The character, blah blah blah. So yeah, if you, I'll put a link in the chat room again for this. I think I'm caught up with all the X's. Oh, nope. Michelle Johnson. Let's see. Rebecca Pigeon, Sadie Frost. It looks like I have some more to check out. I won't do it during the show.
I don't know who Sadie Frost is either. Never heard of that person. Julie
yeah,
Warner,
Michelle Johnson.
I know Julie Warner. That name's familiar.
Yeah, Julie Warner was in Doc Hollywood and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Am I thinking of the
right
right person?
Is that her?
Yeah.
That's my memory. That's her. Oh, wow. Lisa Edelstein is lovely for 58.
Michelle Johnson by that.
Yeah, right. Actually, everybody on this list, they're all lovely human beings. I like them all.
And it's not Bay Arthur. Salt Bay Arthur. No, sorry, whatnot.
Bay Arthur. Jeez.
Bay Arthur.
It's none of the Golden Girls, you guys. None of them.
It is none of the Golden Girls. We can eliminate all four of them.
Not one
and
of
not
them.
Mary Steenburgen. Steenburgen? I think it's J. I think it's a soft G.
I think so too. Somebody asked, somebody get Ted Danson on the phone. He'll know.
Right. Yes.
All right, let's get to some news. It's time for the news, brought to you by...
Do you like Dungeons Dragons? How about Ska? Introducing the College of the Third Wave, a Ska-inspired bard subclass for 5e. Written and illustrated by longtime tadpooler Matthew Sargent, a.k.a. La Sarge, this TTRPG zine has everything you need to pick it up in your next campaign. From starting magical mosh pits to summoning horde sections to battling really big fish, these new class features, spells, magic items, and monsters are better than getting extra mozzarella sticks. The College of the Third Wave launches on Kickstarter on July 2nd. That's next week, folks. Head on over to tinyurl.com/skabard, SKABARD, all lowercase, one word, and sign up for notifications. Anyone who does so between now and July 2nd will receive a free extra gift when they back the physical book. Pick it up. That is tinyurl.com/skabard.
Go check it out. Sarge is a great artist and deserves all the exposure he can get. He's very good.
That t-shirt's happening in 2024, LaSarge. I swear to God.
Yeah, before this year is out.
That Coverville Coppertone t-shirt is happening this year.
Nice.
I might actually do print on demand with that and just say, why keep a whole crap load of stock when I can do a print on demand and have it...
the only problem I've found with print on demand is all the print on demand options are kind of lousy. You know, they're not great quality. You don't always get to choose the best shirts. It's usually...
Oh, really? Okay.
Usually. Like what's not Tea Republic? What's the one people use?
Cafe Press was one for a long time, but
I don't know if
they're around anymore.
They probably are. Yeah, they are. But I remember their crap kind of sucked, though. Yeah. Like, it's not good printing. It's like that weird peely stuff after a few washes, all that stuff. I hate that.
The one I'm looking at is a brand we've kind of all heard of called Amazon. This weird, company out of the Northwest called Amazon. But I want to see some quality from them first too.
How do they do it? You just go somewhere and buy a shirt?
Yeah, you just go to Amazon.com and buy the shirts.
Yeah, but
so
how
I
do
can
you
put links on the Coverville site.
Oh, you just do it as an Amazon store. I get it.
As an Amazon store, and I've already got an Amazon store set up, but yeah. But I want to see some quality before I want to see the quality of the shirts before I commit to that.
Oh, I see. Modify Amazon merch. It's not bad. $14 for a kid size, women's size, 17 for men's.
And you may get $3-4 out of that, but you don't have to keep any stock. You don't have to pre-buy anything. It's shipped automatically. It might not be bad. Yeah.
I have to check that out.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm looking for something similar. All right.
I'll let you know what I find out when I see how
let me know.
Quality is.
I'd be curious.
They'll send me a sample of the quality before.
I don't know.
Interesting to see. Anyway,
ask. You know, we could ask Monica. Maybe she knows if they can. She still works there, right?
She might only know the Amazon Fresh stuff, but I will ask her. Maybe she knows.
Yeah.
Maybe these are considered fresh because they're print on demand.
Yeah. Walk down the hall, talk to the T-shirt guys in the office there.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
A photo got 3rd place in an AI art contest. Okay, so it's a contest for AI art. That's fine. Whatever.
Okay. All right.
You know, it's like meant to be what it is. But then the human photographer who actually took the photo came forward and ruined everybody's day.
Oh my God. So we're totally ruining these AI competitions by actually having human involvement. That sucks. I can't believe
so bad.
The AI industry is getting tainted by the involvement of humans.
Can you believe that? Can you believe it?
Yeah.
It's just a dark day for all of us. Take a moment and think about real hard what we want this future to look like. A jury, or juried, I should say, photography contest was disqualified, or they disqualified one of the images originally picked by the top 3 finisher in its new AI art category. I don't know why you have the category in the first place. It's stupid. The reason for the disqualification, the photo was actually taken by a human and not generated by an AI model. The 1839 Awards launched last year as a way to honor photography as an art form with a panel of experienced judges who work with photos of the New York Times, Christie's, and Getty Images, among others. There's a lot of highfalutin people there. The contest rules sought to separate AI images into their own categories, a way to separate out the work of increasingly impressive image generators from those that use cameras and their artistic medium, as the 1839 Awards site puts it. For the non-AI categories, the 1839 award rules note, quote, they reserve the right to request proof of the image not being generated by AI as well as for proof of ownership of the original files. Apparently, though, the awards did not request any corresponding proof that submissions in the AI category were, in fact, created by AI. So there's your problem. You got to apply the same rules.
Yeah. Yeah, but how do you... Do you just record your screen that you're entering in the prompts to get the AI image? You don't have negatives to show. You don't have, like, it feels like it's harder to prove something is AI. It's easier to prove something is real versus AI.
That's
right?
true. That's true. Because you have original work on your camera. You can show all of that. If you'd want to show, you're right. It have to be screen grabs.
Screen grabs of the prompts you got and the screen, although... you could a talented photoshopper could easily fake that stuff too, right? That's really funny.
Yeah, none of that stuff. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's weird.
Yeah. Like when Mega says you have to fail a CAPTCHA test to submit an AI photo. So basically you have to show that you can't identify crosswalks. Oh, sure. Okay, yeah, must be AI.
Yeah, those don't look like stairs and bicycles to me, the computer says.
That's not a bridge.
The thing is, like, why have this at all? Like, just have the rules about photography, and then if somebody breaks it and tries to... Like, why are we celebrating AI images? Who is this to appease? This isn't for anyone.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Ooh, you really typed out a nice prompt. You made a nice paragraph of text that the computer then made an image of.
What a great photograph you generated by typing 4 words into a prompt.
Yeah, that's nothing to celebrate there. That's just... And I'm not even saying it's bullshit. I'm saying it's not award-worthy. There's no artistic merit here.
It certainly doesn't belong in a photography contest that's been around since 1839. Have a separate, best AI generated image using the fewest prompts or something like that. Make it something that is a feat. It is a challenge. But even then you're still looking at whatever Midjourney comes up with.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say you take this category out of your overall contest. Okay, you already have all the other cool photo stuff in your contest. Take this one out. We don't need this one. This isn't a thing. Nobody's looking at this and going, oh, Bill Weatherson and his rendering from Midjourney is so delightful, I believe it'll win first place. Like, shut up, dude. That is horseshit.
Right. And people are defending and saying, yeah, writing prompts does take talent. That's so true, right? I mean, and figuring out, being able to say, here's the vision I have in my head. What prompts do I need to be able to get that vision fully realized and not just be, well, I guess that is a picture of Cookie Monster eating an M&M, but that's not the one I was visualizing, but getting the one you really intended. But maybe it just shouldn't be maybe you just shouldn't have an AI category in a photography contest and just have a separate, instead of a category of AI, have a separate contest of AI, and then you don't have to worry about, all right, the rules for this contest, no AI. The rules for this contest, all AI, and then you don't have it muddying each other's waters.
Yeah, also, chat room, you don't have to defend stupid shit like this. It's stupid.
I think people do tend to like look at the stances we take and be devil's advocate. There is a
That's fine. Think what you want, but they don't have to.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's dumb. You could do like Brian's right. You do a separate contest where you're like, the art of this one or the skill involved is your prompts. We're judging you on your prompts. How well did they come out? Did it represent what you typed? Were you smart about that? That's fine. Recognize that for whatever godforsaken reason you want to recognize it. It's weird. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
It's weird. How well did you describe the thing the computer did all the work for? That's stupid.
Now here's how it would make it impressive. The artist draws a little bit of a sketch of what they're intending to create using AI. And then they generate it via AI, and you compare what the original sketch was, what their kind of composition of it was, and what they were thinking, with how well they were able to create a prompt that created a real visualization of that thing that they were not able to create, fully realize themselves. That would be the impressive thing. But you don't know what the artist's original intent was when they entered that prompt, or what they were visualizing in their head. So you can't say, "Oh, that's really close to what you had in mind. Good job." Yes, it pulled some great things from other sources to make the thing. And
also, I don't want to break anybody's parade here, but part of the reason this technology is impressive is because it grows so quickly. So what you end up having is down the road, you will have to be way less verbose to get what you want. You'll get to a point where you'll be able to say, I want a pretty scene on the beach, and it will give you exactly what you want because it knows you so well. It won't care what else you did. It won't care about your flowery prompt anymore.
That's the point of it. Apple Intelligence, Scott. One of the great products coming from Apple in 2025.
The biggest photos redesign ever.
Great.
We now put your photos in a random order, helping you discover photos that you forgot you took.
That's right.
Look at this screenshot you sent to tech support for Audio Engine in 2026. You never would have found that in any other way.
I mean, look at it this way. To a painter, a photographer, their tools may change. They may go digital. They may stay traditional. It doesn't matter, though. However those tools change, no matter what benefits it brings them, whether it's convenience or less mess or whatever it is, you still have to rely on the output of that human's brain and their artistic talent. To take a prompt and tell it to do a thing is relying on a machine doing what the machine claims it can do. Like, I don't know why this is such a hard thing for people to get.
It just basically is, it requires a different skill set. Obviously requires a different skill set, but also the you don't have to prove that what you've churned out using AI is what your original intent was. You might be like, oh, well, this was my original thought for the composition of a pretty beach scene, but what it came up with was really cool and very different from my original thought, but I'm going to turn that one in as well. It doesn't, the genesis of it didn't come from the artist. The prompts came from the artist, and they got something different than what they were initially visualizing, and that was I think is the tough thing.
Yeah, I would do this as a contest. I would dare anyone who thinks they're an amazing quote unquote prompt artist to also paint me something by hand, to give me an actual piece of art as well. Like they can't do it. They can't do it. Some might,
no, but it's
the ones
skill set. I mean, not being able to draw shouldn't be a precursor for not being able to use AI to.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm not going to look at your computer generated thing and go, "You are an amazing artist." I can't do it. It's not because they aren't.
Yeah. You're an amazing prompter.
I guess so. You're an amazing prompter. Use that skill for whatever future prompter needs, America needs. We need you at the front line, prompter.
I think iCore settles this. Just have AI judge the AI contest.
Yeah, for real, man. Have that snake eat itself all day long for all I care.
Yeah.
Let's talk about these 7 sets of twins that were born within days of each other at the same Ohio hospital. Oh, man.
Okay. All right.
AI was not involved in the creation of these children.
AI babies.
Something they don't see very often, says the hospital's administrator. An Ohio hospital neonatal ICU stuff. I think that means staff. They put stuff.
Yes, ICU stuff.
Yeah, ICU stuff.
This article written by People Magazine by AI.
Yeah, good job, People. Anyway, staff.
Babies had 11 fingers.
Staff has their work cut out for them after 7 sets of twins were born within a couple of days of each other. In a Facebook post shared Tuesday, June 11th, the Cleveland Clinic's Hillcrest Hospital in Mayfield Heights wrote that the hospital's NICU, or NICU, and postpartum units have been very busy with the large number of twin births over the past week. Quote, we've been feeding double the love caring for 7 sets of newborn twins. That doesn't make sense either. We've been
feeling double the love caring.
Oh, feeling the double.
There should be a comma. We've been feeling double the love, comma, caring for 7 sets of newborn twins at the same time. They put a comma there after 7 sets of newborn twins at the same time. That comma should be People Magazine. What are you doing? People online anyway. What are you doing?
I mean, they've fallen so far, you know.
Yeah. Grammar problems. They're just like us.
Magazine, but. Some parents welcomed their first babies, while others like Jason and Kara expanded their now family of 7. Good Lord. The post continues, along photos of couples and their newborns, as well as several more snapshots of the sets of twins. Best wishes to all, says the post. Hospital nurses Caroline Ferencak and Haley Wedler. Ferencak. That's cool. Do you like that name? I like Ferencak.
Ferencak. Yeah.
Is your lady in your dream named Karen?
Forensic. Maybe her name is pronounced a soft C. Forensic.
Forensic?
She's a hospital nurse. Forensic.
That's a crazy name. Anyway, they told the local ABC station there, while they're used to taking care of a large number of babies at once, the 14 newborns were born in Mayfield Heights. This week have them seeing double, they say. How are we going to get them all done, says Ferencak.
And wait a minute, you guys all had the same fertility doctor. That guy right over there who's slowly backing into a bush.
Yeah. What magical chemicals did Dr. Do Too Much use over there? Well, anyway, good luck to all of them. That's a lot of twins. I always wanted to be a twin, and I wanted to have twins. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I thought it'd be fun in both cases. The one where I wanted to be twins was because you can screw around with people, right?
Right.
Play tricks and stuff.
You can pull the prestige.
Yeah, absolutely. And I used to ask Bill and
the trick is the prestige.
I've asked Bill and Jamie Duran if they've ever did any of that, and he said no, they didn't ever really screw around like that.
Oh, I thought he said they did. Did they not?
I thought he told me they never really did. They never swapped dates or, you know.
No, but they did something with cosplay at Dragon Con or something, or maybe not.
Maybe something more recent. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I think when I asked him about childhood and stuff,
You're
and he was
about
like,
kid stuff, yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like that's when you sow your oats, you know.
Yeah. I never wanted to have twins. I'm so glad that Tristan wasn't a pair of children.
Yeah. I would have been all right with it, I think. I don't know why I wanted that, but I thought it would be. I thought it seemed cool.
I like the movie Twins. I like, DeVito and Schwarzenegger as a pair of twins. That's good. I like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do we like that movie, though? Do we like it now?
No, we really don't.
Yeah, I don't think we do now.
I've seen it, but I think at the time we thought, well, this is silly, but okay.
Because I wonder how, I actually think Kindergarten Cop sort of holds up. It's okay. It's not recent-ish. Yeah. It's all right.
It's not the Puma.
But Twins? Aren't they doing a new one, too? I heard some rumor.
What's the one where Arnold's pregnant?
That's Twins, isn't it? Oh, no. Sorry.
No, that's exact. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because that also had DeVito in it, and I tend to like Junior. Yeah, see, I tend to make those the same movie.
Well, they're both in it, right? DeVito's back. Yeah, that's confusing. What year was that anyway? Let's see. 94 was who was the lady? Emma Thompson. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Emma Thompson, was that your lady by chance?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Neither was it Pamela Reed.
Was it Ada Turturro who played Tony Soprano's sister on The Sopranos?
It was not.
Okay.
It was not. It was also not Frank Langella.
Okay.
It was also in Junior.
Well, that's good to know. Jeez.
Yeah.
But I mean,
when you think of, Arnold Schwarzenegger was pregnant? Yeah, that was the movie Twins. Like, oh, wait, no, it was not. But Mandela effect, or not even Mandela effect, just the fact that they came out so close to each other.
And they're such stupid premises. That's the other reason they stuck out. Yeah. What happened to those days? We don't do that in movies anymore. Nobody makes a movie about talking babies anymore and stuff like that. We're done.
I mean, we've got a CGI talking cat who doesn't like Mondays and eats lasagna coming out.
Yeah, but that's animated.
Targeted towards kids. It can be silly.
Yeah, if you animate it, I get it. But is there any live action, like name something that's like Twins or Junior
The Lobster. Poor things.
Yeah, I guess
we've just got one guy who's making those far-fetched ideas into live-action films anymore.
I guess you have to make them dark and weird, though, to make them work, right?
You have to make them dark and weird. They can't be comedies. Yeah.
Yeah. You just don't see it anymore. I don't know if they just don't sell, the MCU-ification of movie theaters where everybody just goes for the big, loud movies. Nobody makes small, dumb comedies anymore. I don't know.
Oh, TRPW. Yeah, this current season of Doctor Who, I'm enjoying episodes, and I'm really not. There are other episodes I'm not enjoying. I love Chudigatwa as the new Doctor, the first non. What's his deal? He's the first non-UK born. Doctor.
Is he? I thought he was born in the UK. That actor, anyway.
That actor, I don't think was born in the UK.
I think he was from Sex Education. That guy, right?
He's from Sex Education. I mean, obviously the first openly gay doctor, the first black doctor. Let's see, born in Rwanda.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, but they're just episodes that aren't working for you. You're not enjoying them.
Yeah, there's like this. The Talking Baby episode was difficult. The Black Mirror episode of where social media turns a bunch of basically it's a dark prophecy of social media kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not liking that one either. But there's a whole episode that doesn't really feature the Doctor except in the very beginning and the very end that I thought was really, really cool. And that's creepy and dark on close to the levels of Don't Blink, which is kind of the one. Did we watch that for
I don't know. We did.
I think we did watch that for a couch party.
We saw a Christmassy one. Is that the Christmas one?
No, but we watched another one that was about these statues that come to life when you're not looking at them.
I don't remember.
Didn't we?
Maybe we did.
Oh, maybe we didn't.
I don't remember at all. But that doesn't mean we didn't. It's possible. Yeah. I completely forgot what that was about.
I like the new Doctor a lot. I like the companions a lot. I'm not liking just Blink, not Don't Blink. And I'm not liking, but I'm not liking about half of the episodes that they've been putting out. Oh, there's another one where the Doctor steps on a mine in the beginning of the episode, and everything takes place around him because he can't lift his foot off of this mine or disable or anything like that. And that one's pretty cool.
That sounds good. I like the premise.
Yeah, that's a very cool premise. That was a good episode. But
I forgot he was one of the Kens in Barbie. Totally forgot.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, boy, there were a lot of Kens in Barbie. So many Kens. So few Barbies.
So many Kens. There are many, many Kens.
Yeah, but this one is ours. Let's move on to this story. China's next gen. Oh, this is exciting stuff here.
Yeah. No twins coming from these.
No. Well, maybe. Maybe you buy two at a time. I don't know. China's next gen sex bots are coming, and they are AI powered. Hey, all you prompt winners, go over to China. You got a job waiting for you. They're about to hit shelves. So if you were waiting for a really hot next gen sex bot from China, this is maybe the time to get in. Chinese scientists and engineers are applying ChatGPT-like technology to sex robots, aiming to create an interactive artificial intelligence. These companions, they want to create these in the face of technical and ethical challenges, of course. In Shenzhen, Sharpery Technology, this is a company there. I've been to Shenzhen. That is a big factory town, and there is a lot of there's weird stuff in Shenzhen. Couple things jump to mind. One, that's where SARS started way back in the day.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
That's fun. And then some of you kids may have forgotten about SARS, but with COVID and everything. But SARS was a big deal for a minute.
They should have put up a SARSguard.
They really should have. At least one of them. The one that's
just
least busy.
To protect, keep SARS from getting out.
Yeah, there's always at least two SARSguards working in other places, but you just
master and apprentice. Yes.
Yeah. Just get the old man out there. He'd be happy to do it. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, and then the other thing about Shenzhen is that was the place where everyone I saw was either loaded and owned these factories or had no money and either worked at the factories for a pittance or were homeless, but everyone had cell phones. Everyone. Didn't matter who you were, you had a cell phone. This is back before smartphones even.
Sure.
And I asked one of the factory people, I said, what is the deal with that? And she says, what we do is the government brings in a big container like you have on a truck, like Optimus Prime's back end, right? Like a big old container. And they inside of these containers is just loaded with transmitter cell stuff. And they just plop one of these down in the middle of town. And now for however many miles radius, everyone has access to this cell network. And then they have cheap phones that everybody can have. So
wow,
it was weird. Guys laying in the gutter, but they're on their phone. It's just weird.
Jeez,
and then the other weird
time.
thing is they had this is the place where I went to a Nike factory just to visit it. They were showing off their other factories. A Nike factory across town made only the left shoe, and a Nike factory so many miles away at the other part of town made the right shoes.
It just blows my mind. Yeah, that I mean, I guess. Obviously the soles and everything has to be different, but the fact that I mean, it's not like they can have one machine that churns out feels like they should have one machine that churns them out side by side both, but
maybe they do now. Maybe now they've improved all that, but back in the early or the mid-aughts they were like
crazy.
It was so weird to me, and it also rang a bell with me because I've never felt like Nike shoes fit me right. My Nikes have always been a little off on one foot versus the other foot. And so now my new excuse was, well, that's because they make them across town. Nobody knows what each other's doing. That's their problem right there.
Oh, interesting. Incredible Sausage says preventing mass theft. That's an interesting, and Icor says it too, preventing theft and resale. So
theft. Oh, you mean theft from the factory
and
then
shoes. Yeah, like somebody's saying, I'm taking home a few boxes of these shoes. They can't do it if they can only get the left shoes.
Yeah.
Unless they're working really closely with somebody who works in the right shoe factory.
Yeah. A guy named Kevin. Kevin would have to work really hard with another guy named Kevin at the other factory. I knew like 20 Kevins that worked at these factories.
I'm sure.
They all called themselves Kevin. So weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's that. Okay. So here's the thing.
The sex bots.
Yeah, they're making these sex bots. They are now training their own large language model. They're not using somebody else's to enhance its product with AI. These sex dolls with unprecedented capabilities. You can fill in the blanks there. Available in male and female forms, this will soon be hitting the shelves. We are in development of next-generation sex doll that can interact vocally and physically with users, with prototypes expected by August this year, says CEO Evan Lee. That's almost Kevin.
Almost, yeah.
Said earlier this month. Technology changes or challenges remain, particularly in achieving realistic human interaction, he said. While simple dialogue is easy, creating interactive responses involves complex model development and specialized software companies.
Hey, baby, you like that? Oh, yeah, you like that? Here's what I found on the web.
Yeah. I wonder if it ever does that.
I couldn't find anything. Here's something that will help.
That'd be amazing. Send you to a Wikipedia article about domination or something.
Right. Yeah. Baby, you like that? Now playing Aloe Black's latest album.
That's right. No, I said BJ, not whatever it is.
Now playing BJ Thomas. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
I want all of this to be true so bad. These traditional dolls, supported by a metal skeleton and silicone exterior, are limited to simple responses and lack the aggressive abilities needed to engage with a human, says this guy. The new generation of sex dolls, he goes on to say, powered by AI models and equipped with sensors, can react to both movements and speech. Well, you're just going to run over that movements word as if there's nothing to it? Like, it's not...
Movements, yeah.
Yeah, I want to know more.
Just right past it.
Significantly enhancing user experience by focusing on emotional connection rather than just basic conversational abilities. Boy, I love how they dance around what these things really are for.
Yeah, like by not saying exactly what's going on with it. So I like this photo of the assembly line worker who's working on all the heads.
Yeah.
And looks like he's putting in eyeballs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he says, yeah, somebody is pretty much going to be sticking their dork into each and every one of these things that I'm putting on the...
How could you not? I mean, it's all I would bet. Well, I guess if you do it long enough, you probably just are immune to it. But
you don't even think about it. Yeah, he's thinking about that episode of Breaking Bad he watched the night before.
Yeah, but day one on the job must be a weird day for these people.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, you're putting the lips on these. Oh, great. Okay, I know what's happening with those.
Yeah, 2 sets of lips. He goes on. Let's see. Oh, the company is focusing on the China or on outside of China, but also the domestic sector. This is an interesting bit. Despite being a largely Despite being a largely conservative society with general reluctance to discuss topics like this, Lee said China hosted the largest market for sex dolls, surpassing the combined sales of the U.S., Japan, and Germany. So, yeah, that place is, even though they're banned, it won't let kids play video games, and you can't have any kind of porn on any kind of internet. They're pretty cool. They're cool with the sex bots. So, good job, China.
Yeah.
Well done.
It fascinates me, but just as a dude, I feel the immense danger of putting any part of my body, especially that part, into a machine. You can cover it up with real looking skin and make it talk and blink and whatever and all that stuff, but I don't even think in the Brian's trying to get dates era before I married Tina, flirting around with people and stuff, I don't think even then I would have said, all right, I'm okay with putting part of me into a what's basically a toaster. Yeah.
Do you think these just like USB-C chargers and stuff? Like, how do you charge these people? I assume you do.
No, she's out of juice. I need to plug her in. Oh, dang it! I've got the USB plug upside down.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you can plug them in all day and just have them.
I'm sure that they have to have. For the amount of movement and talking, I'm guessing probably not battery, but probably plugged in all the time.
See, that would just be so distracting. Where is that plug? Is it in its back? Is it in its head?
That's a really good point. Where in a foot maybe? No, because then you've got the people who are curious about you, who are foot fetishists, who'd be like, well, I like this thing, but you put the plug right in the foot, which is my favorite part.
You got to put it in their back.
Put it in the butt, Tally.
Yeah, don't put it in the butt. People need the butt.
Yeah.
Put it in the back of their neck or something like that, where you can't see it behind the hair or something. I don't know. You know what we need? We need somebody who's listening, because I guarantee one of you out there knows this. Somebody out there has bought one of these things and is embarrassed to say, I will keep you anonymous. We will never use your name. In fact, if you use the text line, I won't even know your number. I won't know anything about you. Give us the skinny on how these things work. And I'm talking practical stuff. I don't care about all the sex stuff. I'm saying, where do I plug it in? Are they lithium-ion batteries? Is there any kind of safety precautions? Can I get this thing wet, or am I going to have to watch out for that? How are they around pets? I want to know all the practical answers to all the practical questions about owning a sex doll. All right.
I feel like armpit would be the place to have the plug. Well,
there's some people though. There's some people.
I mean, there's some people. I saw that movie with Ben Stiller and the the other Arquette, Patricia Arquette.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
There's a movie where it's Ben Stiller's looking for his real life parents, and I want to say it's Alan Alda, Carol Burnett or something, but he's cheating on cheating on Patricia Arquette with Taya Leone.
Yeah.
And he's got an armpit fetish. Ugh. And
okay.
Let's see.
I'm not yucking anybody's yum, but it's still, yeah, whatever. Their armpits.
Let's see if I can find the photo. Flirting with Disaster is the movie.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, the Jen. And here you go. Let's just give you. See, I don't want to give you a clip. I want to just give you this image from YouTube. Can I do that? Oh, copy image and paste. Here you go.
All right. Let's have a look.
Coming to your deal right there.
Oh, yeah. She had to sit there and just kind of take that, didn't she?
She did. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm not showing this. What grossed Scott out the most today? That did.
Would you like a link to the full video?
No, I don't. I don't want that. I am good. I've never been better. I don't want that. We're going to take a break. When we come back, my sister will be here. Thank goodness she can bring some sanity to this world. That'll be after this break, though. And by break, I mean song break. And by song, I mean the thing Brian has. So, Brian, let's play it.
Yeah. Hey, I love it when it's somebody in our little community right here. So this is a song called Astra, and it comes to us from an artist who goes by the name Straven. We all know him as Tanner. It's Tanner. It's Tanner Goodman.
I love this track. It's so good.
It's so good. It's his first ever single and features a chill, down-tempo sound made with various synthesizers stacked atop one another. The song was experimental in nature and created as he navigated using a new DAW for the first time. Many parts of the main melody were created on accident as a copy and paste error due to sleep deprivation, but he liked how it sounded and continued to flesh it out. He found working while deprived of sleep lowered inhibitions and allowed him to experiment with things he normally wouldn't like. And he's continuing to work on new tracks. And there will be an EP out in the future. And I'm hoping that maybe he's going to be an opening act for Same Sex Mary at TMS Vegas 2025. We'll have to see. But in the meantime, you've got this one. Here is Straven and Astra.
Courage and fear are two important instincts. Sometimes being afraid is just as important as being brave. Sometimes you just can't win. See you all next time.
The biggest photos redesign ever.
Yes, that's right. New interstitial music, because the guy who previously gave me the last one said this was copyright free and no one would ever bug you about it. Now gets banned on YouTube every day. So,
oh jeez,
every day I get like 15 claims on YouTube saying this episode. I'm like, yeah, I've used it for like 3 years.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So now I'm on to something new. Anyway, Brian, tell me again about Tanner's new song.
Yeah, that is the song is called Astra, A-S-T-R-A, and it's performed by our friend Tanner, who goes by the name Straven. For this, also on Discord, you'll find him as Straven, S-T-R-A-V-Y-N. Look for it and look for more from him coming in the future.
Yeah, I think me and Straven, aka Tanner, are kind of in the middle of a 2-person book club. And
oh, really?
Yeah,
recommending things back and forth.
It's mostly just the 2 books we're reading right now, or the series we're reading. We just constantly back and forth. Dude, did you get to chapter whatever yet? Can you believe that? No way, dude. I got to the end of this one. It's like that kind of stuff constantly.
Fantastic.
That Red Rising series is so good. All right, let's get into the Wendi world, the world of Wendi.
Here's another Minnesota tradition that's not so easy to throw in the garbage.
Hello, Wendi. How are you? Oh, I don't hear her. She's muted.
Oh no!
Oh, you're back.
No.
Now you're back. I hear you now.
Where did I park my Wendi?
Yeah, no.
If I yell, it works.
Yeah, you're good. It's nice to have you here. It's my sister Wendi, everybody. She comes on here on Thursdays, helps people with real problems because she is a practicing therapist. And Wendi, I got that book, as you know. I sent you a picture of it. You said it's like a three toilet trip book.
I didn't say 3.
Or what'd you say? Something like that.
It's a toilet book.
It's a toilet book. Yeah.
I might have said 3. I don't know.
I can't remember what you said.
Long poops.
It was long poops. Let me see.
You're really far away from your mic right now.
Oh yeah, here's what you said. Yeah, you sound like you're on your phone or something. Different mic.
Yes, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Let me check. You talk.
All right. So I sent her this picture. It's called The War of Art. We talked about it a little bit on the show, so if you didn't get that last time, get it this time. It's very interesting so far. I really like it. And here's what she told me. I sent her a picture, and she says, nice, it's a toilet book. A few good poops, and you're done. So that's 3 poops or more, right?
A few good poops. This is my favorite Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, it's so good, man. So good. Well, anyway, Wendi, you're here. And how's your mic now? How you sounding over there? What do you got going
I gotta check. Honestly, you guys. What? I don't get it. I checked everything. Am I yelling now?
No, you sound, I mean, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, you're not, no more than usual. But it sounded like you were like way far from wherever the mic was. Now you sound closer. So
okay.
Maybe we're good.
Sorry about that, folks.
It's all right. Not my. Look. If I have a range of technical siblings, Wendy's she's not the most technical of my siblings. I'll just put it that way.
Who's your most technical sibling?
Probably. Actually, you know what? The scary thing is you are.
I know. I was just gonna say.
better be Wendi.
Have you ever spent time with Matt, Misha, Mark, or any of them with anything technically related?
Exactly.
It is a nightmare.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're the best. You're the best, Wendi.
So I win, and it's still bad. Oh, there we are.
That's just gives you an idea of the scale we're talking about. Anyway, it's good to have you here. Let's get into it. We got an email to read, and I'm going to read it. Are you ready for this? Here it comes.
Yes, please.
All right, excellent. This is an interesting one. Wendy's response to me first was yikes, and I agree with her. There's a bit of a yikes factor going on here. Wendy, Scott, and Brian, my brother-in-law is currently unemployed, and his wife is trying to support them both with her job, but they don't make enough money to pay their bills and mortgage. 2 years ago, they bought a house that they could not afford. Both of their parents helped with the down payment. They insisted on having their wedding in the backyard, which they couldn't pay for, so asked his parents for money to pay for things. Finally, something happened with the money his mother gave them for the catering deposit. It was spent on home renovations instead of the catering, and she said, after this, no more money. She has had enough of financially helping him. She has done it for years and wants to retire soon. Retire from giving them money, I guess, or from a job. Anyway, they think the solution is to sell their house and buy an equivalently priced house that is bigger in another state. Let's see. I know they want kids and are trying to get a house with more bedrooms for the kids. They do not have jobs in the new location, have not even put their house on the market, and are putting offers on houses on the contingency that their house sells. But now my brother-in-law is asking for a letter from his dad to say that he is employed with him when he is not. My husband and I are very concerned that when they move away from their support structure and have kids without family there to help. Then there's a T for some reason. Like, oh, it's because it's part of the next line. They don't seem to see it this way, and they think they'll be just a plane ride away and will still see their family. They currently live 2 hours away in a city that my husband and I would consider living in the future, but if they do move to another state, we will not be able to help them when they need help. They rush into things without considering the consequences. They got a second dog, which sadly escaped during the storm and was never found. They got chickens right before their backyard wedding, and 2 of them recently died from the heat wave. So we are very concerned about them having kids without jobs and buying a house they can't afford, let alone being able to afford children. My husband and I don't know what to do anymore. They won't listen, but his parents don't seem to be able to say no to their son. Signed, Concerned Sister-in-Law. So, does everyone have one of these in their family? I feel like everybody does. You know, somebody who's just like spends poorly and
just makes bad life decisions and wants more responsibility, but doesn't do well with the responsibility they have.
Yeah, and just thinks it's all going to work out, or if they don't like a job in the first week, then they're just going to quit because they don't stick with things like that. That's what this is all feeling like, and I feel like everybody's got somebody in their life that's like this, friend or family. But Wendy, how do we want to frame this one and talk about it?
Let's start with the concerned sister-in-law.
All right.
Okay, listen, I'm sure all good intentions, but when I read the words concerned sister-in-law, my first thought is like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Mainly because that feels like, I think it's authentic, but it feels like code for nosy sister-in-law. And I'm starting here because I don't really mean it, because I fully relate to this person, but I also just think, okay, whose business is this? And this is really hard. This is my tough love medicine, everyone. I was planning to be nice today, but when you reread it, I was like, oh, I can't be nice.
So you're getting both barrels.
I think partly because it is the concern part is real, right? Your concern is big. It's authentic. Your in-laws are being taken advantage of. You're watching this. This is triggering a bunch of stuff for you. You know you're going to have to pick up the pieces when they screw a bunch of things up. Like, who gets chickens right before their backyard wedding? Come on. No one's making good decisions.
It's a bad decision.
Right? It's such a bad decision.
Yeah. Hey, Wendy, real quick, pull your mic a little closer to you. You went quiet again for some reason. I don't know why.
What if I just do this? Is it better?
I don't know. Say something again.
A little bit.
Hi, how's it going?
Weird. Yeah, something's adjusting you down. I don't know why.
Huh.
Anyway.
Discord doesn't trust what I have to say?
It's entirely possible. Also, actually, are you on your phone or are you on a computer?
I'm on my computer.
Here, let's try something real fast. Go down to that little this is always fun to do on air.
Yep.
Go down to your little user settings. Go to that
I'm
little
on voice settings right now.
Oh, awesome. So you're way ahead of the game. We're going to try
you are the most technically advanced sibling. Yes.
By far. Still doesn't say a lot. Anyway, go down to where you've got voice, or where do we go? Automatic gain control, and turn that on.
Automatic what control?
Oh,
gain control. Automatic gain. It's down on the bottom third of choices, and it's like a little switch. Wow. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, it's on.
That's already on. Okay, and whatever distance you are from the mic now is perfect.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was?
What was it?
I accidentally put the input volume down and did the output volume up, and I had it backwards.
Oh, there you go.
My bad.
All right. Hey, look, I'm not saying I don't want to forget about everything I said earlier. All right, forget about all that stuff.
I'm still the best family.
You're still the best.
Yeah,
you're still the best.
Okay, back to me insulting the emailer. No, I was not. I don't mean it that way at all. I think that concern is real, and I do think that is anyone related to anyone making these choices is going to be like, oh no. But notice that last paragraph. Ooh, let's see. I don't know which paragraph it is. The second paragraph. Towards the end, she says, they currently live 2 hours drives away in a city my husband and I would consider living in the future. But if they move to another state, we will not be able to help them when they need help.
Yeah.
So we are already in this caretaking role. Yeah. Right. And you know what I am going to guarantee if I talk to this guy and his wife about
the emailer or the person being emailed about.
Yeah. The person being emailed about. If I ask them about the chickens and ask about their wedding and ask, oh, sorry about your dog. Tell me about your dog. Oh, what are you going to do with the housing? I guarantee they would be talking as if they're making all sorts of normal decisions and they're fine. Right?
Yeah.
Most people are not like, I'm like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm making crazy decisions left and right. They know what they're doing is what they are doing. They don't, people are usually not fairly aware. Mainly because we all have our different tolerances, right? So when you two read this email, what happens to you? I have a yikes because I think of if this was my brother or my sister, this would really stress me out because I would be just like the emailer going like, what are we going to do? What if they have
when they have kids? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. But what happens to the two of you when you read it?
Oh man,
that's the first thing I think of too. I don't have a sibling or a person in the family that I think of that's similar to this, but you think, oh my God, this person is barely and not very well taking care of dogs and chickens. How are they going to do with an actual living, breathing child?
Yeah.
I want them to do the carry around a thing of flour, a bag of flour for a month, and let's look and see how that flour looks by the end of the month if they've lost it or set it on the stove accidentally or something.
Split open.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
How about you, Scott? What does it do for you?
It immediately gave me not anxiety. It gave me flashbacks of very similar stuff with some in-laws that are almost identical to this situation. Almost exactly like this. Maybe worse because in their particular case there are many kids involved already. And it was an ugly time. Let's put it that way. So my initial reaction to this is very visceral and like, it's hard for me to talk to people who are acting openly against their best interests, obviously so, because we also live in a society where you're not meant to criticize everybody for what they're doing all the time, so you feel a little bit trapped in, you're only an in-law, can't really do much. It doesn't matter kind of what I say, but I am probably going to say no when they come to me for more help because I'll be like, no, after that other stuff. Yeah. And then I'll get labeled the guy that doesn't want to help, which isn't true. It's just that I can't help.
That's fine.
It's just bad help.
If they're spending the money that's been given to them on the thing that with the money was given to them, not the thing that was the money was given to them for. Boy, that made a lot of sense. Then you don't want to help them because they might re-gift your help in a different way, or yeah, it just feels like a bad decision all around.
It's just a bad scene, and I get really visceral about it and weird. And so this whole thing, when we first got the email, is just like, oh, freaking, I hate this so much, because it's just because what are you going to do? You can help where it makes sense for you to help and all that, but if it's just this repeated behavior and it never improves, like, what are you actually meant to do? And I don't have a good answer for that.
If it was just the two of them, you know, cutting them off, it's like, good, this will teach them to learn to take care of themselves. No problem. Great. This is the way to do it. But the thought of them bringing another person into the world, it's like, well, crap, now I can't just, you know, wash my hands of the whole situation and let them do it, because like, oh, now I feel like, because I've helped them so much in the past and they're maybe relying on that help, I'm partially responsible for this. Like, I'm partially responsible for where they're at.
Yeah. Or I'm helping them stay in their rut because I'm enabling them.
Right.
I'm
enabling
100%.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if we break this down to a couple factors, one is that they are the brother is. So it sounds like the wife married to the brother, and that's her brother, his brother behaving this way towards his parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, trying to get dad to lie on a letter saying he's employed by him when he's not. You know, using money willy-nilly, right? Like, it sounds like they're using the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, so number one, the first sort of inappropriate deal going on is there. And so as children, another sibling watching this has got to be really frustrating. I would love if she had included in here how her husband, like, does he feel any different from her? It sounds like they agree, right? For the most part.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
But, and that they've both made these attempts to try to talk them into making better decisions or holding their parents' boundaries for them, or trying to, right? But there's reasons that's happening, and that came along way before you guys got involved. And maybe it's always been that way, and that would be interesting to find out. Like, is this dynamic where this kid in the family is always kind of messed around, and his parents have rescued him over and over and over again, and they continue to do so, and you're having a response that's like, well, I'm the responsible kid, and I'm not asking for money.
Mm-hmm.
And he's blowing through my inheritance. Or, you know, you kind of got to look at how this affects some of the factors that are making this harder for you, that you might need to deal with on your own. Because really, this would all just go away if these guys would just behave and be normal, and we could all watch them and babysit them. And that's not what anybody actually wants to do. What they want, they want them to just not behave this way. So you think about it in terms of influence. Where do they actually have influence, this couple, on the other couple and the parents? It sounds like there's 4 people who they have concerns about, but I'm guessing the influence is, you know, so I would ask that. What is the actual influence you have? Can you sit down and talk to mom and dad? Talk about saying no? Also, just really recognizing, what is my job here? That would be my number one thing to think through.
Mm-hmm.
What is my actual job? I've just had a nosy sister-in-law, so that's why I was triggered by that.
Yeah.
But also just thinking from we might need to get a little zen about some of this. Like, what do you actually have control over is not the same thing you're concerned about.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's be really honest. What do you have control over? What influence do you actually have? So let's make some guesses. What do you guys think their influence is?
I mean,
on the decisions these two make and the parents.
Oh man. Well, you can only compare it to what I would think would happen in, your own life or whatever. I'm trying to think how that would be if it were me. Like,
I mean, their influence is clearly limited, because even if they say, hey, we're helping you out with money for this, they're going to spend it on that. So
they do whatever they want. That seems clear to me.
Yeah, it's they're.
I mean, if
they were to say they were going to get involved and say, don't have a kid, they'll be okay, bye, and then they're going to have a kid.
Yeah, if they had a larger influence, I don't know that they would be emailing us. So probably not a lot of influence, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Honestly, a little reverse psychology might go a long way. Just tell them over and over what great parents they'll make. They should definitely have 20 kids. Just lay it on thick. And here's the thing. They're going to do whatever they want. So your decision, your interactions need to be a little more considered, right? Because if you let the stress or anxiety of just kind of go unchecked about what they are going to create. Notice there's lots of future concern, right? That's the holy crap, look what they do now. What are they going to do in the future? And then stop and say, okay, what influence do I actually have on any of this? So will they talk to you? Do they listen to you? Do they ask for your opinion? Do you give them money? Because that might be the one place, and I think this is really a common dynamic, is parents give their kids money when they're convinced the kid needs the money, and they will repeat that behavior because they don't want to lose contact with the kid, or they believe whatever they're saying, but these parents probably know they're not very responsible with money, and somehow they still can't say no. Do you have influence with them? Are they asking for your support? Do you want a family plan to have boundaries? Because guess what will happen? They'll move to another state. They're going to do whatever they want. I think that's probably just true. And your power really lies within recognizing and staying in the lane that you actually have some influence in, and learning to let go. I understand when you're like, oh, I just let him do whatever, and then I pick up the pieces. So my question would be, have you picked up the pieces, or is it the fear that you will have to? Because sometimes you worry enough and you can come up with the scenario where you're going to be called to fix it. When has that actually happened? So that'd be another question I would have.
Yeah, I guess that's never really happened to us in terms of like having to fix it, like ultimately fix it. Cause like there's no way to, how do I put this? We're not going to suddenly take 6 kids in, young adult teenagers in and have them live here to solve everybody's problem. That's not going to happen. There's no room. So other ways would be financial. I don't have enough money to do that either. So, I don't see, that's the problem, is how you expect people to take care of their own shiz. So when they don't, you're like, well, I don't have the extra bandwidth for it. I don't have the room to get it done. So I don't.
Have they asked you to do any of those things?
Yeah. Some time ago. I mean, this is a complicated thing because the state of where it's at now is very different than it was even a year ago.
Okay.
For reasons I won't get into. But there have been times, where it's like we would get asked to usually financial, like we need to get, you got to bail us out this month, or certain things come and due and we can't afford it, or whatever. And it started to get to the point where they were coming to us every time and nobody else. And I'm like, well, why is that? Is it because we're too easy? Are we not expecting? Are we the only ones not demanding some kind of showing us that this is the last time this will happen? I don't know. And it's always awkward because you also want to help when people need help.
Yeah.
But boy, is it great when you're working with somebody who appreciates the help, wishes they didn't need it, and does all they can to never need it again.
Right.
Man, that's
exactly.
nice.
You see them using that to actively not let it happen.
Yeah, it's so nice to see it, right? Like it's a thing, and they're almost like we went through this as a family growing up when Dad lost all of the businesses and the money and everything. We had to rely on the kindness of others for a bunch of reasons. But there was never any moment where we were like, well, this is just us now. We're just going to ask other people to help bail us out. We're not going to pull up our own pants. We're going to just have everyone else do it. We never did that. It was always like, we hate this. We never want this again. We'll pay anything back that we can find to pay back. If it's possible, we'll pay it back. And then we'll get, and then back on our feet as a family, and we don't need anyone's help anymore. Like that was always the motivator. There was always that engine working, right? Where when it doesn't work, when people don't feel that way about just their everyday, I don't know how to help them.
Right.
I don't know how to give them the motivation they need to get out of that cycle.
Well, you're hitting on like some core stuff, right? Well, who taught you to think that way? It was your parents, right?
Yeah.
And we have, in this case, 2 sets of parents helping them buy a house they cannot afford. So we have 4 adults saying, I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to give them money anyway. And you do that for a few reasons. You don't do that just because it makes financial sense. No one ever does that. What they do is they're hopeful maybe this will get them started, or so there's a bit of a the softy situation where you're just like, I promise Dad, I'll and then they don't. And then you just don't hold them to that. And there's a reason. There's a reason this works. And someone can do this for endless amounts of time. And that is because the parents don't want to lose the connection. They don't want to get in trouble. They're kind of afraid of a kid. That's a thing. And so that would be an interesting question to ask too. Like, okay, so here's the sister-in-law and her husband. Have they asked for money? Do they get help on the down payment for their house? And they just behave differently. And so this is extra bothersome. Or do they get nothing? And that's also really bothersome. Yeah. What is their take on how the parents, because you can have compassion for parents who are like, this is the one way I can stay in contact with my kid is I help pay for things. Or this, I don't want to. Yeah, all those things. And if you don't start that, I'm telling you, at age 5, it's gonna be hard later on to be like, yep, I just give you what you want, and there is no consequence. And this is what you see as that plays out. So that can be really frustrating to watch, but it is also not something you created or even something you can fix. So a big part of this would come down to the parents making different decisions in helping them or not. And they may just decide, I guess I don't retire. I just help this kid forever. I mean, there's a million stories like that, right? Yeah. Not ideal, but on the side here a little bit is this couple. What are they doing? Are they planning on, what financial decisions are they making? It's a little bit like focus on yourself and check all that. And of course they didn't write all that in, but I always would tell people that, like, okay, where are you with your version of this exact same story? Like, let's check ourselves. Are
you guys secure and set and not needing any help and that sort of thing? Sure.
Yeah. And even just that, like, it's so easy to see someone else's faults. It's not so easy to see our own. That is a very human challenge, right? Because again, like I said, if we interviewed these two people, they'd be like, oh, we are making plans to move, and it's just a plane right away, and it's fine. And I bet our kids will be awesome because we love chickens. And you know what? Have you guys met half the people in the world? They're all nuts, and they're all doing whatever they want. So that's who those neighbors will be. Yeah. They'll be someone's neighbors. And they'll be in another state and they will make their decisions. I think what's hard, and I don't know anyone's age here, that would have been interesting to know their ages. Yeah. Because if they're in their 20s, early 30s, you just need more time, then you stop caring.
Yeah.
There's a little of that where you're like, oh, okay, here's the pattern. Okay. And you start to learn when you set boundaries, they respect the boundaries. And if you don't set boundaries, they're going to take advantage of that. And you'll learn that. Like I mean, Scott, you and I have had some experience with our sister with this. Yeah. And I found that it's like she had a radar. Anytime I had a new baby or any kind of really big deal in my life, she would call and then be like, I need money. And I'd be like, I thought you were going to call me about the baby that was born 2 days ago. It was rough. Right. And I don't know if Abe still remembers this, but he says he did, which was one day just losing it on her on the phone. Yeah. And he's like, I remember I was sitting in a high chair. I'm like, you don't remember. But anyway, it was me just going, you cannot treat me like this. Like my lines have been crossed so many times. And I finally just, it's hard to do. Yeah. But man, she was good at pushing those boundaries. And anytime you gave her accountability, like, I'm happy to pay your rent, but I'm going to send it directly to the rental agency.
Right.
I'm
like, not going to give you the money. Yeah.
So even basic stuff. And so that's what I would advise actually for the parents, that they don't get convinced or talked into something. If they really are vulnerable and people are taking money from them, right? Like that's maybe a different story, but this might just be like mom and dad are like, it's fine. Let's give him some more money for more chickens or something. Mm-hmm. But if it is more serious, maybe we need to, take a different tact, but kind of recognizing like some accountability for, do you give anyone else money without any kind of accountability? That's not a thing, right?
No.
Do you get money without any accountability? No. So just kind of trying to put on normal rules around some things and see how that goes. If I noticed in this, they haven't asked the couple, the emailer for money. That's not happening, right?
It didn't sound like it.
It's just
let me just skim over this. Yeah, it looks like it's just parents. And I guess the concern is that his parents just keep saying yes.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing if the parents were to say no, the emailer would be the next on the list for them to hit up and say,
yeah,
moving down the line. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Right. And so just be ready with your no. Because the other thing I learned, and this was always so scary with Tara, I just thought she'll die. She'll have to go. I don't know if I don't help, if I'm not the one, if I'm the last person she's asking,
Yeah.
And so I was a sucker and did a bunch of things. And then at one point, after I freaked out and just like, you got to stop calling when I have a brand new baby and asking me for money. And what I figured out is, guess what? She survived. She asked someone else. She got a job. She did a million things. I am one of 30 options. But the gig was to make you feel like you're the last option.
Yeah.
And, that's a survivor. She's a survivor. If nothing else, that woman's a survivor. And once I learned that, it was like I just needed one experience where she turned out fine for me to not feel the full weight of someone's destiny, right? And I think that's because you care. And so you and your husband care. You care about your brother-in-law and sister-in-law. You care that children might be involved one day. You're worried about the chickens. You're concerned. Concerned is the right word. You're not really nosy, but finding your way of sort of articulating what we can control, what we cannot, and what do we need to practice letting go of. Yeah. It might be, hey, mom and dad, quit telling us about the money you give them. We don't want to hear it anymore. But if you're also borrowing money all the time from your parents, I don't know, look in the mirror first.
Yeah.
And sort of, I recognize it's expensive to live life and it is hard to do a lot of things. And yes, families need to help each other out. Absolutely. But there are smarter ways and there are dysfunctional ways to do that. So any kind of accountability that can be put in, like I'm going to take out a loan and you have it written out and this is when you're going to pay it back and then you do it, right? Versus sort of there's a thread of dishonesty kind of in this as well that I don't like. And so, you might want to just figure out how to create some boundaries so that you're not as affected and also being clear what you will and won't do and what your own boundaries are.
It's interesting.
That's really what we're looking at.
Yeah,
a lot of messy.
It's interesting too because this is a thing. I don't know if there's a word for this, but maybe it's just norms or I don't know. But this idea that most of the time throughout your life you're getting by with others because there is an agreed upon without actually a formal agreeing.
Yeah.
But an agreed upon way of behaving around each other, with each other, whatever. There's like a unspoken set of whatever it may be. And most people, they adhere to it or they understand those kinds of things. You don't even have to verbalize them. It's just like, oh, right, when I'm at a restaurant and you bought last time, I'm going to offer to pay this time for the other couple because that's the nice thing to do, return the favor. And everyone's understands the transaction intuitively. They don't have to figure it out, right? They're not like, weird. We bought them lunch and now they're buying. I don't understand. They don't do that. They get it. They understand. So when people don't get the norms, that's where they're at, right? And it's so frustrating because the convenience of everyone understanding the contract is that there is no weirdness. When someone doesn't get the contract, it's automatically weird, and we don't have good standard answers for when they're weird. I don't have a good way of saying just straight out no, or or yes, but you'll pay me in 30 days, or I'm only doing it if you keep that job for 3 weeks. Like those kinds of things, they sound terrible coming out of your mouth because the contract isn't being adhered to, and nobody knows how to react to that stuff. I wish we were better as people at when there's a breach of the social contract that we know how better to say it. So that we are, because what we usually do is we go, oh crap, I don't want to say it, so therefore I'll just get taken advantage of a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah. And or resent you after and build a case against you in the dark, because you can't quite communicate. Whoa, that hurt my feelings. Or it's conflict avoidance at the same time. I have a phrase that when you were saying this, like social contract, I was kind of thinking of it as like goodwill contract. It's kind of unspoken. And this is where, I love to bring everyone's childhood into it, but it's where your childhood has an impact. These things are taught, some of that goodwill sort of like we do this and we don't do this, right? It's kind of modeled and or, you know, we get what's ours. Take 10 extra ketchups, you know, whatever. Like you're going to be entitled,
getting what you're entitled to. Yes.
Yeah.
What you think you're entitled to.
Yeah. And lie because you know they're lying to you. You know, like you can teach a million things to a child without, which is why these guys are worried about these kids, like them having children. You can teach that. And then what happens is people are like, whoa, why is this breaking down? Why is this not working? And it's because we have different sets of expectations. We were taught different things. So yeah, I think you're right. I think that's a big factor happening here. And so she's emailing in saying like, how do I handle that? They have broken all the social norm contracts that, you know, we see as normal, but they don't. And the reality is, unless you want to sit down and sort of reparent them, it's going to be tricky. And most people are not going to hear you. And usually just they learn from the consequences. And that's really hard to say. So you get chickens before a wedding and they die in a heat wave. Okay, there's some consequences. Did they learn? You know,
they might think chickens are expendable. Chickens. We bought some bad chickens that weren't heat treated.
Yeah, and it's a rough year. So
he gave us some faulty chickens.
Yeah, so you can always justify whatever it is you are doing in your life, and so when people come to therapy after years of whatever they've been doing, they often are like, okay, I keep having the same relationship. Oh. Yeah, why do I keep picking blah, blah, blah? And it's because, you know, your first relationship, you aren't thinking anything. Second relationship, you're like, well, this is better than the first. And then the third and fourth, you're like, wow, this is similar and maybe something's going on. So it takes a minute. It takes some life, I think, for some of the awareness and the consequences to add up. That can feel really scary when you're watching that happen and having to let it happen. I joke that sometimes, like on a first session, I'd be like, I know exactly what I might say on session 10, but you need to know me better. And we can't go there yet because you won't hear it, right? And then at some point I can say, hey, do you see how blah, blah, blah? And they're like, oh, yeah. Whereas if I said that in session 1, they would walk out because they're not ready. They're not ready to hear it. So I would assume these folks are not ready to hear anything and that they're going to do what they want. So figure out where your power is, if you have any, and what kind of life you guys want to live. Do not go making decisions where you live based on where they live. You're going to be in trouble.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Right. I also wish I knew birth order. Is this an older brother? Is this the younger brother?
Oh, good question. Let's see. Brother-in-law is currently employed. They don't say, I don't have an age comparison, so I don't know. Yeah.
No, just know when you email, Wendi needs birthdays. Just kidding. I just need a few
social security number and the name of your first pet.
I mean, it does change. It does change how you're going to answer things, because if you find out they're 19 to 24, that's a very different bunch of answers than if they're 52 to 60.
Oh yeah, yeah. And if your husband is the oldest brother, and this is the youngest brother, and there's, or that's the oldest brother, or, whatever. So sometimes that helps. So, but yeah, this is tricky. So thanks for stressing us all out with your,
I feel like
email. It hits home, right? Like this really resonates.
Totally hits home. Yeah. Hits home hardcore. I mean, I hadn't even thought about the whole Terra connection, but that's a good one. And there are plenty, that's what I mean. I think everybody's got some version of this. Somewhere in their life, whether it's a close friend or someone they work with or family. It's even harder with family because you feel obligated. Why they
have all the sayings, right? Like don't lend money to family or whatever. What are all the colloquialisms? Like just don't.
Yeah, don't. What's it? There's one you always hear. Oh, never get into business with any kind of clergy. Like if you, like if you're like somebody who's like in a clergy position of some sort, no matter what denomination, I don't care, and they're like, hey, you want to invest in my little side gig? Don't do it.
No,
don't do it.
No, because you're going to hold them to a different standard, and they're not going to meet.
They're not going to meet it. Yep.
Screwed. Yeah. Yeah. Or don't mix business with pleasure. There's the phrase I was thinking of. Yeah.
I don't know.
TMS. Don't mix family with pleasure either. Really.
TMS Vegas is the only example of mixing work and pleasure that I like.
That's so true.
There's things like that.
Listen, business is our pleasure.
Yeah.
Don't mix your backyard wedding, chicken, and heat waves. Don't mix those ones either.
Right.
So Bobby Franks in the chat says, "What a weird piece of advice. Never heard of the clergy thing before." Okay, I'll just for some perspective. Here in Utah, lots of Mormon families. Mormon local church authorities are all layperson. They don't get paid. It's not a job. They just are volunteers. They get asked to do it, and they do it. It's those guys who are like, "I got a little MLM on the side I want you to work with me on." Avoid that, is all I'm saying. So maybe this is less advice for well-paid Southern Baptists. I don't know, but that's the reason I brought that up. Well, anyway, there you have it. Wendi, I hope we hear back from them on this because I feel like I need closure, even though this isn't me. It gives me the same emotions and like visceral feelings that I get from this problem.
Yeah, and because I should end with a compliment. It's because you care. You're good. You're good people, right?
Sure.
It's hard to be a good people.
Yeah, if you want to be a good people, you got to work at it. You know.
My problem is that I care too much.
Exactly, a little bit. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll be doing this again real soon, and lots of cool stuff coming your way from Wendi. So keep your eyes peeled for all of that. Wendi, anything else you want to mention before we go today?
Oh, but I will stop messing with my voice settings and leave it at this. Okay?
Yeah, this is perfect.
Screenshot that so you can always refer back to it.
You'll never forget. We'll see you soon. All right, there she goes. There she goes.
Memorize it. Learn it.
Learn it. Live it. What's that from? How do I know that?
That's from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, that's why. Boy, it's been a while.
Judge Reinhold, yeah.
That feels like a film sack movie, even though it's a comedy, because of its important place in film history. Don't you think?
Yeah. Plus, it's an excuse to watch that scene.
Yeah. We really should.
That car's moving in stereo scene. It's any excuse. Sure, we need to watch that for film sack. Maybe we'll watch just that scene for film sack.
Dr. Calhoun also correct. Utah is the capital of pyramid schemes. People love MLMs here. There's tons of them. I don't know if they're more lax laws or whatever, but everything from doTERRA, the oils people, to oh gosh, there's so many. I can't even think of them all. Anyway, there's tons, and they all suck. I hate it. I hate multi-level marketing. All right.
You hate MLMs just as much as LLMs.
Yeah. I like LLMs I'm okay with. I don't mind large language models. What I don't like are prompters who think they're freaking Da Vinci. That's what I don't like.
You think they're photography contest winners.
Look what I have created with my text. All right, that's it for today. Brian, Coverville today or no? I can't remember what you said.
Today. Yes, it's the 40th anniversary of Prince's album Purple Rain, that monumental June 1984 album that gave us a whole bunch of classics like I Would Die for You, Baby I'm a Star, The Beautiful Ones, my favorite song by Prince, and a song that he recorded after the rest of the album was finished, When Doves Cry. What? Yep, that's right. The biggest, the hit single from that album, the first single from that album was the last song he recorded for it. Of course, we're celebrating the anniversary of that with an episode of Coverville where you're going to hear folks like the dude Brett Anderson, from the lead singer of Suede, Tina Turner, Martin Sexton, my new favorite singer, Holly Humberstone, even as part of this thing, and the Eaton Canyon Royal Ensemble, all doing covers of songs from that album. So I'm also throwing in a bonus track because I had a hard time deciding on versions of Darling Nikki.
Oh,
yeah. So get your magazines handy for that one. Now, the time on this one is going to be tricky because as soon as this show is over, I've got the bike rack already on the back of my car. I'm throwing my bike on there and I'm going for a longer than average ride. So Coverville might be as late as like 3 p.m. Mountain Time, maybe even, probably not much later than that. But so just, go to twitch.tv/Coverville, ring the little or click the little bell to get notified when I go live, and keep an eye on it. And hopefully you'll be there live for the show.
Very nice. Quick shout out, by the way, to I almost forgot to show this today, to one BioCow in the chat room. That thing he sent me, I picked it up at the P.O. box. Yeah. It's a working
oh, that's cool. Look at that.
Diamond Club thing with like lights and stuff. It's not plugged in right now because it's too short for where my power source is, but Anyway, put that somewhere. Have that on. Pretty cool. It's got a little button. I think he made these.
I'll bet he did. Yeah, looking at it, like, very cool.
He sent a very nice little letter. He's a super cool dude. Thank you, dude.
Love BioCow.
Yeah, he's the best. Don't forget Core tonight, 5 p.m. and also Skim sometime today. We're not sure when, but sometime is happening. And Couch Party tomorrow, 10 a.m. for you patrons. We're going to watch the first half of Serenity and then do the latter half when Brian gets home. And play Retro on Friday as well at 1:30. Check that out. It's going to do it for us.
And there will be a Guess the Connection tomorrow morning to give away some prizes. I don't know what the prizes are, but I think a 3D printed snake or something, like a 3D printed articulated snake. I've got one of those to get rid of. So it's your chance to win that and some other weird pop culture prizes, some enamel pins and stuff like that. So that'll be at 9 o'clock tomorrow on twitch.tv/Coverville.
Perfect. And you just roll right into it if you're a patron. That's awesome.
Yep, exactly.
It's funny you bring up those articulated dragons and snakes and stuff. Van showed up at 8:30 this morning before the show started. Kim's watching her for a few hours while Kim Carter does, Taylor, their mother, does a photo shoot. And they both showed up at the door holding these big articulated 3D printed dragons, just going, "Look, Pops, look what we got, look." And they're like freaking out about it. And I said, "What are those?" And he goes, "There was a blue one and a red one." He goes, "This is Appa, and this is, I don't know, some other character from the Airbender thing."
All right.
And I said, "Oh, that's so cool." He goes, "But when you put them together," and they're red and blue, right? He goes, "Put them together, and now they're Optimus Prime." I'm like, "Yeah!"
Nice.
That's my influence right there. All right. Anyway, that's it for the show, everybody. Big thanks, everybody, for listening. Go to the website if you need anything, frogpants.com/TMS. All the links are there. Just have yourself a good old time. Brian, let's get out of here with some music. What did you bring?
Yeah. Lydia wrote in and said, John Bauer, my husband, your patron, is celebrating his birthday on Saturday, June 22nd, and he's turning 68. Holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah, we know these two come to, I think they've been to a few TMS Vegases, maybe all of them. And
I think I know who they are, and I do not think he looks 68 by any
not
stretch.
Not even a little bit. Exactly. Not even a little bit.
What is he eating? Tell me about his diet. What's going on there?
Where's the hyperbaric chamber that he lives in? Because that's amazing. Give him a happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, let's do. You know what? These are the rules.
Happy birthday.
You get that one.
Right. She said any Bee Gees song. So I'm going to do a Bee Gees song, and this is a favorite of mine. Came out a few years ago. You know, Foo Fighters, great guys, but sometimes they're not Foo Fighters. Sometimes they're a band called the DGs, short for Dave Grohl. This is their cover from Hail Satin from 2021 of the Bee Gees' Night Fever.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
Before I break all your teeth.
Oh, all right.
Cool.
That was